Good Monday evening. Welcome back to PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. This is Dave. It is Monday, June 26, 2023. We're closing in on the end of another month, and I believe the beginning of another season. It's sort of a season in the markets, if you will. Especially since we're looking at, again, the S&P right here. Um, I'll use my highlight tool. This was June. So June results over 10 years, the market goes up by 0.08%, 60% of the time. July, this is what I'm talking about, kind of a new season in the markets. 90% of the time rises an average of 3.12%. So you're going to see that that's a theme. Because let's look real quick. By the way, we're pulled down. We've got red bars now. There's, we've pulled back to this purple line. I talked about this the other day. That could be the first place that it stops, and we could get all the way down here into these other lines, so the green and the blue. And I don't particularly see that playing out, but it could happen here. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average has downward signals the last couple days, and we're in this zone that I'm also considering. And for what it's worth, the red and green area, this red area and this green area, those are automatically drawn pivot areas. So we do have something that's showing up mathematically as a pivot area here. And we've got our sell arrow here, sell arrow here, but we do have buy arrows all over here. So, and we're in buy zone here, and we're still really in a buy zone here. So can this thing come up like this, pull back into this zone, and then take off from here to go on to new, this is, again, we were in this downward sloping channel. We broke out, and then so we were seeing has to happen. There's a high, there's a low, there's a lower high. Actually, that would be the lower high because this was a fake out in here. Lower high, lower low, and then that's what creates a downward slope, because over here we had a low and a high and a higher low and a higher high and a higher low and a higher high, and that's what creates an uptrend. So over here we broke out into a new uptrend. That's a new high with a higher low, a higher high, and a higher low. And we got to look at this. That's a higher high as well. Now we've got, this is a lower low to this. The question is, will this get beyond this low or take out this low? And if this thing continues up and actually breaches this to the upside, then we've got still an uptrend by all counts of the definition. So that's what we're going to watch for. This is the type of stuff that's going to chop around and possibly just make you crazy. But if this weekly chart over here really has control, we could get up here into these targets just as easily. So we'll keep watching. And then again, July, 90% of the time up 2.35% versus June, it's yellow because it's kind of neutral at 0, 50% of the time. And then we'll move on to the Russell, which looks like it's had a hard couple days here, and we do have sell arrows all over the place. And so we had one here, By the way, in my opinion, any of these arrows is a reason to collect, or if you were profitable on this way up and you get an arrow like that, that's a great place to take some profit. You get the second arrow on the way down, you're probably not as profitable, and so you could either kill your position or just run off of these signals over here on the weekly chart. So we're still bullish on the green, but we're bearish on the down. We got these down arrows here, and this is red. So again, July's right around the corner. 60% of the time it goes up by 1.63%. And check this out, June. So in June, the Russell 70% of the time goes up by 1.09%. And we might, that looks like if in June we started down here, and if we end anywhere in this zone, I would say we're probably in this territory of at least 1.09%. All right. The NASDAQ. All right, this one has been holding up a lot better. We are at the purple line and all the same stuff. So in July, 90% of the time up 3.99%. That is a pretty good number that I'm going to keep in the back of my mind. Now that doesn't mean we already haven't seen all the move, and that kind of number could be like, well, this is going to be the one time out of the last 10 years that we don't get that. So, there's no guarantee when you're talking about statistics. And let's look at oil. Oil bounced a little bit today, which I did change the color coding for the candles just for now. I'm playing around with different ideas that help me trade, and I want to show you guys literally. This is green. This is green. This is red. Well, I can color these candles based off of this plus this, or this, or this, and therefore, that type of thing. So, anyways, this is still green, and in my opinion, this is the one that's the most, that's the strongest one to watch. Secondarily, this one over here, because again, I was talking about trends develop from the inside out. So it's got to happen on the daily before it can turn into potentially positive on the weekly. And I can show you this move back here, I believe, was this move up here that went from red to green. And I can, yeah, for sure. That's where the cursor, the crosshairs actually work on both charts, so you can see where you're at on both charts. So, all right. And then another tell in this market is the transports that are powering higher in the face of some doldrums in the rest of the markets. So transports are, they're picking up while the Dow has been picking up. The Dow pulled back a little bit, but they're both on a relatively bullish uptrend. The transports even more so. And then bonds have been inching their way higher, and I did draw in some channel lines there that are worthy of paying attention to. We'll see if this thing gets any legs over on this side. So that is bonds. And all right, that's enough for now. We'll flip over to stockcharts.com. Type in bullish for the bullish percent indexes and buzz through these real quick. Industrials unchanged. The New York average unchanged. Transports unchanged. The NASDAQ down 0.86%. These healed up through the day. They were a little bit worse than that through the day, but they obviously didn't do anything big enough to make add X's or O's. This one's down 9.96%. And the OEX, which is the S&P 100, down by 1.59%. And the NDX minus 1.67%. So that got to 59. So if we go another point, then we'll get to 58, but a point and anything else after that, we will put in. We can go to here to get to 58. If we go anywhere beyond 58, we're going to fill in 2 boxes. And that will make a point and figure sell signal. So we'll watch for that. I don't think it's the end of the world if that does happen. Maybe the other markets will be propped up in the meantime, like the Dow and the transports, and that's where our money will be focused, is in those kinds of markets. So I also wanted to, while we're here on the internet, pop up to Econo Day because we got some stuff going on. I've shown this a time or two. This is the calendar for econoday.com. It's pretty handy to know events in the markets, and you hit this full calendar. This is what a week looks like, and we've got Monday happened already, so it's grayed out. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you can see this is the end of the month. So these things, you can click on them and you can find out what some of the news is on them and whatever they're posting about it. So just wanted to show that because I think next Monday, the 3rd, is a market day. When it gets closer, I'll confirm that. I'm sure. I'm 99% sure it is. So, and it'll show up actually in econoday.com. Amongst, you can also Google it all over the place. So, and then finally, I am going to post a separate video of of our trading results for our automatic trading systems.